Now, Tuesday, we cater to those with a love for words, for picking up books and sinking their noses into it with a nice cup of tea or a nice cup of coffee yeah, okay, if I get carried away. Resident bookworm, Audrey is here, and we are talking today about Trials and Tribulations by Perpetua Mutembo Gonese. Good morning, Audrey.
Morning, Candice. How are you?
How are you?
Great.
Good. Tell us about Perpetua.
Ooh, Perpetua. Perpetua Mutembo Gonese is a lady in her late 50s. She's married and has 4 children. She holds a master's degree in languages and is currently a lecturer in languages at a college in Masvingo. This is her second book. She's got another book called The Modalities of Life, which is a poetry book.
Yes. She sounds like she needs to be my friend. You were going on and on about Chimamanda English.
She is, you know what, I've read a lot of books, by the way, and yeah, this one, I put her in that league, you know, your Sunyati league, your Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, because her English is so good. So she's a fundi in the language, and you can easily tell by the way she uses all these words, the nuances. Everything is just woven together.
Do you know what's made me happy about your statement, apart from the fact that, you know, this is going to be a good read because of the language context? You had local African references for just how good she is. And we often get stuck in, Shakespeare, Dickens, and you gave us actual homegrown names. Sunyati. I mean, wow.
Yeah, we've got another one, hey? Samantha Vajuri.
Yes,
that good as well.
Yes.
So you know why? When I started doing this book thing, I had to look for local authors. I had to look for African authors. Yeah, because those are our people. They narrate our stories better.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Now, you said this is fiction. This Trials and Tribulations is fiction. Tell us a little bit about it.
Fiction. So this book, it's your usual, you know, she's a woman, Christian, very loyal to her husband. But the husband, Ben, he's up to no good. Up to no good. He's a teacher. And like there's this one incident, this one actually, I was very emotional. He takes, Chipua, the wife, has saved some money, like $1,000. And then he takes this money and he goes and he buys his girlfriend a bed. Yes, a brand new bed. And then, unfortunately for him, some people saw him and then they told the wife, and she was like, no, my husband would never do that.
Very busy.
So it's that, and then so you look at the themes. We've got themes like hope, there's love, hate, friendship, hurt, endurance, and perseverance. But I wish this wouldn't be our usual narrative, because this is just not even in the book. Even where we stay, people we know, it's always the same usual story. Yeah.
I want to specifically look at the hurt, the hate and hurt elements of the themes. How does she tackle them? You know, we go through things on a day-to-day, and sometimes when you're in it, you don't really know how to navigate that area. But it's such an area that is so sensitive for a lot of us because we encounter it on several occasions in our lives. Like, how does she navigate that space?
Okay, so despite all this hurt that she gets from her cheating husband, there's one incident where her son, he goes to a boarding school, he's expelled from school for doing whatever he was doing, and then he goes to stay with his brother, who was very well off. But then the brother had a wife, one of those, you know, the one who goes to the salon twice a week, always doing her nails, and she was like, I will not be staying with other people's children. But you know, in our culture, this is accepted. So now, one day, the husband has to actually succumb to the wife's demands, and he drives his nephew back to the sister's house. So this, the Chipua, she was very hurt, and she was narrating how she used to carry this child on her back, but now the one time she needed help, he couldn't help. So you find all these issues that keep on piling up. At some point, she now gets high blood pressure, and she has to go on medication. So there's that hurt. Then there's the hate. And I'm glad you asked that question, because we act, as a people, we act like these things don't happen or these things don't cause issues. We're like oblivious to the effects of hate in a family setup. So yeah, she's going through all that she's going through, but it just piles up, it piles up, it piles up. But through her church Christian values, you find that even in some of the chapters at the end, that lady, that husband bought a bed for, eventually has a child, and she never knows about this child. But this man is looking after this child for 14 years.
Woo.
14 good years. So eventually at the end, like they always say, every dog has its day. This man, Ben, he ends up dating the students at school.
Oh.
So one of the students and the teachers, they actually approach the Ministry of Education. So they come there, they do their investigation, and he's found guilty and he's expelled. So he's now at home, jobless. He's now a grandfather even, but he was still having affairs.
Oh, wow.
That's when the baby mama comes with the child.
And this is how she finds out.
That's how she finds out. She's thinking it's people, because they used to stay at a school. She's thinking it's people who want to ask for directions, but it's actually the baby mama and the child. But because of her strong Christian values, she actually takes the child in.
Oh.
She looks at the child and realizes that it's not even his fault, because the mother is remarried and the new husband says, I can't be looking after another man's child.
Oh.
So yeah, it ends.
These are very interesting dynamics that come up.
It is, but it's very painful if you really look at it like what you're saying. Very painful.
Audrey, who's reading this?
This one, I think everyone should read it. Even from a very young age, people should just know the dynamics of things that go on around family.
Life lessons.
Yes, life lessons.
And thank you so much for joining us, Audrey. Trials and Tribulations by Perpetua Mutembo Gonese. That is definitely a book you want to pick up. Already you can tell the storyline is quite fascinating, but I know there's a couple of you who've read themselves in this book as you were just listening. So it's definitely a read for everybody, as Audrey says.